Hello and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, I bought myself a little bit of a new toy. So I don't know if I recall if you've been watching some of my videos. I said, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. Well, I managed about 6 weeks of buying no extra craft stuff. I think these have been around for a fair time. Okay, the Ultimate Pro. But anyway, I treated myself to one of these because we have a camper van. And so sometimes when I get, I take a few bits with me because, I like to be busy even, when you're away. And I just thought, you know what, this will probably be quite handy for all sorts of things. Quickly show you what it's all about if you haven't seen them already. But I think they've been around a lot of years, actually. They came from actually Crafter's Companion. I now bought it literally recently. And it came with actually the offer they had on at the time, the Ultimate Pro, which is all the different projects on there. But my computer's not good enough to be able to do that, so that'll have to wait. So, but anyway, with this, where I'm going to do today, stay tuned, is I'm going to make some boxes because I've never been very good at making boxes. I've got quite a few dies that cut them out, which, yes, they're okay, but I actually think I found this, and this is really, really impressive. But just to quickly show you what else it's about, oh, you can make bows on it, and I weren't particularly a very good bow maker, so it's a win-win really. So it's a case full of lots of bits and pieces. These lines on here, if you can see them well enough, there is your box lid, and they are your box base, because obviously your box lid's got to be marginally bigger than the base, hasn't it, to basically fit. So these are obviously some, you can do some inlet cards and things like that, so it's all marked on here. And then inside here there's literally a crafter's knife. These little bits go in, which is new to me at the minute, goes in one of the other bits, and it makes your bows. Just while I'm there, I'll show you some bows that I've made with them. I wasn't very good at making bows at all, but I reckon I'd better knock these out quite easily. Oh, here it is. So these little plastic bits, they go whatever size bow you want. So like that little, this for example, this diddy little one, is that not ultimately cute? Okay, gets done on there. I'll show you another time with this because I'm going to do boxes because I don't want to hold you up for ages. But look at that, not a bad little bow, because I've actually bought bows. And it's funny, I actually had some come the other day while I was waiting for this Ultimate Pro to come. But so I should still be using them up because I sort of, you can buy these sometimes in Poundland. I think this was Printable Heaven, I think, was selling a sort of a load of these sort of thing. But I mean, that, they're done, they're ready, but quite nice to put on cards. So anyway, back to what I'm actually going to do. Oh, so here's a bigger bow. Yeah, I mean, probably need almost ironing or something because I think it's out my bag of bits. And here's another one. Yeah, I mean, obviously they just need pulling straighter, but perfectly lovely little bows. So I'm impressed by them. So they can go in there. I thought that really tiny one, was really impressive. There's no way. There is a procedure, isn't it, where you can do it with a fork. My husband and I have quite often sat there, as honestly like the generation game, and eventually get it. But sometimes you just think, oh, it takes too long. Anyway, so back to these. These go in here. Anyway, where we're going to do, I need this one out. Comes with a couple of these scorers. I think this will be useful because I was sort of saying to my husband, I've got a scoreboard, so really, I mean, he sort of says, well, get it, because I think us crafters, we are sometimes think, oh, we really need that. But anyway, I am impressed with this. So first of all, this is the card stock I tend to use, and I often do my 6x6 cards, which I'm going to show you in a minute or two. But to fit say half a dozen cards in a box, this cardstock I didn't think was big enough. Although where I was trying to do like 8, because to do like the 6 you need like 8.5, 8.25, the overall square size. But whatever size you do with this, for example, it doesn't matter as long as your 2 bits are square. Oh, unless of course you're doing an oblong box. If just, for today's purposes, we're just doing square boxes. As long as the 2 bits you have are exactly the same size to start with. Okay, so this I really like, premium cardstock. This was 100 pack, 300 GSMs, which is nice and sturdy. Yeah, which obviously you want that, don't you, for the bases. And just move that out of the way. So that's Hobbycraft. I'll just move that out of the way. And here, I do try and sort of shop in local shops. Some of these sheets are like £2.30 for the toppings and things. Interestingly, this wasn't bought that long ago, but they have put them up. But some other places are much more expensive. I think this one is lovely, although I'm going to do some flowery one today. It was £4 from the works, but it's 24 sheets. They are 230 GSMs. Look at these. Are these or are these not gorgeous? I really do like. I think as well, I'm a bit of a bluey person anyway, so that would sell it to me too. Oh, look at that one that looks like water. Yeah, really, really lovely, isn't it? So, just sort of, if I just quickly, if I just quickly flick through some of these. Do you know what? Let's do this one. And obviously they're double-sided, so you can use whichever. Yeah. So I think I got these out of, how much that shop? I don't think they've got them anymore. Home Bargains. Again, wasn't a bad price. Some of them are a bit gory, aren't they? But I was going to do that as a box, but I thought, it's a bit bright. But yeah, so anyway, so here's, oh, and just one more I'm just going to quickly show you, purely because this again was the works, the Eastern Elegance. I'm not one of these people that, you know, when you get a magazine, you know, the crafting magazines, and they give you them punched out, or you punch them out, sentiments that are already written out. I almost think it's like as if I'm cheating a little bit, so I don't really like them, so I keep them like for my granddaughter. But in here they have got, as you then saw there, some written things, and I'm thinking actually to use them up, hang on, there's some with more on a bigger square. Look at that, quite nice, aren't they? Look, the best day ever. So, you know, you could literally, couldn't you, just do a white box or whatever, dark box to be fair, navy, and you could cut that out and put that on the top if you did say just the plain white card box or something. But that would actually be cut out quite nice, so I think I will use them up at some point. Right, back to the plan in hand. Let me just move these out of the way so they don't get in my way. So first of all, you could obviously, it's got a cutter in there, but I'm sure any of you crafters are a little bit, you like what you like, don't you, sort of thing. So I'm going to go to use my, now going to use that in a minute, but this is my regular one. So the card that I've just done, I've done two. I might even try and do this one because I've actually ordered some more card. This is actually, let me just have a look, actually 8.5. 8.25, okay, which I reckon would be big enough because I did a box lid because I didn't have, you know, because this come out of a piece of that A4 that I showed you earlier. So I will probably try that in a minute just to sort of see how it pans out, okay. So because if I do the base with that, but this one for now, showing you now, is literally 7 inches. I'm a good old fashioned inches, love my inches. Or it's just marginally less, but that doesn't matter. 7 inches by 7. Okay, so that should be absolutely fine. So now this is where this new tool comes in. Oh, I now need to do that the same. So if I'm now doing that, a little bit of a cheat's way, if I now put this on top here, so I know they're going to be exactly the same, although it might be just as easy to do this like this. Right. Right. Oh, that. And okay, so basically they should be exactly the same size. All right, if I just pick up quickly something else in this, just while we're there, because I'll be able to show you how easy these are to do. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. do this in this one as well. So this one was 8 and a bit. Get it way around you want it. Let's have a little bit. So 8. Because this size then will allow you to actually use A4 size, because these sheets are 12 by 12, but I've just now ordered some online. But I might actually be able to get, because like I say, this will fit out of an actual A4 size. Okay, so right, I've just cut. And if you're going to now be doing a load of boxes, you could sort of get them ready like that. So put that out of the way now, you don't need that. All these bits obviously it goes out without saying, keep them, because you can then use them for all sorts of other things. Matching tags is, if I sort of, I've got time because I've done a load, but I'll sort of show you. But you know, I don't like to keep you on here forever, because you come back then. My numbers are very slowly going up, which is lovely. Thank you very much. If you've got friends who are crafty in any way, tell them, and maybe they'll be interested to watch too. Now for this, okay, I'm just going to put it here so you can see. Obviously the box lids will need to be this side. I'm going to do 2 boxes right quickly, because sometimes when you get shown you think, oh yes, that's okay. So we want roughly about an inch for the side. So for size purposes, this is 7 by 7, which ends up giving you I'll measure it exactly in a minute, but I think sort of a 5-inch-ishy box. Okay, right, so basically, can you see this is all marked out? But on here, you might not be able to see it, but it says box base. So I'm sort of tending to do my boxes potentially just white bases, and then your pretty card for the tops. But if you haven't got one of these, basically it's all just about a scoring board, isn't it? Just remember, the bases need to be exactly the same, you know, the bases and tops exactly the same size, you know, if you're doing square. But when you come to then do your scoring, basically the box lid just has to be marginally scored. And I gather, although these are the sort of same size, I gather on here the box lid is just done marginally a bit bigger, so then obviously it'll slip over the top. Right, here's the easy bit. So all you do, I'll just hopefully I'm in the right place so you can see this well, is just butt up your card to the edge, and then literally sort of upright with your scoring tool like that. I'll probably go back again just to make sure it's quite nice. Turn it round. It's this easy. Okay, round we go. Okay, and round we go again. And there you have your base of your box. That simple. Okay, so now get a pair of scissors, and all you need to do, okay, you do it on the same everywhere you go. Where you've got to say your scoring line, okay, just clip to there, and then you just want to just take to, so the point goes back to the box, yeah. Then you go just again, and then just remember the point's going to sort of go to your box. This will just give you a little tag. Turn it round. I love boxes actually, because my granddaughter's coming. Because my daughter will be working. She's a nurse. I'm an ex-nurse. She do long days on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so we'll have little Ivy, who's 5 or nearly 5. She's 5 next month. But I think, oh, I think I might make some. I know it'll be after Valentine's, but I might get her to make some boxes, and might make some homemade chocolates to put in them. So that'd be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, simple as that. Okay. So now all you do is do the same procedure. I'm going to do this on here again just so you can see how it works with the same. Obviously, if you wanted a deeper box, you just do a bigger line, because but I'm going to do it the same size so you can see how it turns out. So this one I like. So you almost have this tool. Like I say, if you've got a scoring board, this will do it. But I think what I like about it so much is you then just pop it over to the other side and do the box lid. But I'm going to try and do 2 boxes just so you can see. So, if you do, if you needed to do a load of boxes for something, so as you can see, that is, if I now show a card in there with a bit of luck, that should, yeah, do you know what? I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I've actually ordered some more paper, like in the 300 grams, not paper, card. And this would work. Oh, no, that might still be tight. I'll tell you why, because if you then put your envelope on it, it might, it's a nip and a squeeze, as they say, it would just, but I think actually by buying the slightly bigger card, that will just give that extra bit of room, because I think this could end up almost crunkling up your envelopes a little bit, which would be a shame, wouldn't it? Because, a lot of work goes into these cards. So, yeah, so I think 8.5 is bigger, which you can't quite get out of A4 size. But anyway, we're still going to do this one for now. So this sort of look. So that's the 2 bases done. I'll just quickly show you this again, because this technique is really easy once you get it. When I first had a go, ages ago, I actually did it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? And cut that way, which that still is a corner, but this way is much better. So just if you always think your little tips going back to the box, okay? So it doesn't matter where you do it, whether it's that side or that side, but if you just remember, just a little tip back to the box. You always think back to the box, you really can't go wrong. And again, you could be knocking these out. Like I say, I just think to put a little something, just as a little gift for someone, because anyway, so there we have there and there. Now back over to the lid. So obviously this is this one. All you do literally is take to this side of this, and then you do where I did the 2 in. I'm right in doing that. I'm now doubting myself. I'm pretty sure. So just okay, turn it round. Turn it round. Turn it round. Turn it round. Can you see? Well, you see on that side more. That's scored. Lovely. So again, you do exactly the same. You would just go like that and then snip it back to the box. I know I'm showing you a few times, but once you've sort of got it, you're sorted. Because I'm aiming this a little bit at people who might be sort of just starting out crafting. And there's nothing worse if you muck up. But always remember, if you do muck up, don't just put it in the bin here. Oh, that's ruined. Because you can still use the card, the paper, or whatever for something else. So, as much as I keep bits, let's just literally show you again on this one. Oops. So I almost hold this directly up. Obviously, if you've got a pattern, when you sort of do your original square, just try and make sure it's all in. It's not on the. So. Okay, so then remember you're clipping there and to the side. I just sort of go round to there and snip to the box. Again, round you go, snip to the box. Round you go, snip to the box. Also, just showing you this. This has got all this embossing stuff on, which I think can, you know, you can put different things on. But I'm right impressed. But if I'm honest, you can get away with it with a regular scoring board. But I just think I'll probably use this quite a bit more. So I might just take it, like I say, in my camper van, so I can do a few bits and pieces when I'm away. Right, now back to these. So obviously that's that box, and this is this box. Right, so now you need a bit of glue. Oops. I used this yesterday. I usually store them upside down. I end up having this on the side. Do you know, I can probably do that without doing this. So now the trick is literally you need enough glue. This is why I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Put a bit of glue. I'm a great believer, yes, you need enough, but you don't necessarily need too much. Okay, so I forgot to do. See if I can do that without making a mess. It's scoring these. Forgot to then show you. Do you know what? I like the things that I always use. So what you do, so it gives quite a nice sort of crisp edge. Hopefully I haven't now put glue everywhere, because there's nothing worse than that, is there? Okay, so now where do I have my glue? So now I put that on the wrong side, numpty. Got some on there now, so that's okay. But basically I did then put it on the wrong side, but that doesn't matter because the other bit will dry. The trick is line it up so the corner is just so. Okay, massage the glue in. I've made a little bit of a mess of that one, apologies. You need enough. Put it right to the corner and nip it in. What I then tend to do is then I would, if I was now going to use this box for something, I would now leave this potentially, I would say almost definitely for a few hours. Yeah. So it then dries. Like I say, it's scored. There we go. And again for this bit. Line it up so it's nice and square. And then pop. But look at the crispness of these. So there we go. So just for time purposes, obviously we've got this smaller one there, haven't we? But so back to where we're doing with this. Pop them over and then just, so it's nice crisp edge. Pop over again. This is lovely thick card, and I think that's perfect for the bases. The 300, and like I say, the prettier stuff on the top is the ones I'm using is, what was it, 240, 260, which is thick enough, but it's a lid. So these are then ready again. If you prefer to, you could put tape on there, but you need really strong tape on there because there's nothing worse than your box mucking up, is there? So I think my little brush dried out too much yesterday. So a bit of glue on there. Line that up. And obviously with these boxes, you know, I sort of live with that thing, less is more. But I'm now going to show you also, which I've done earlier to save time, because if you've got any of them sort of tag dies that you can cut out, you can then use, you know, the same paper to make nice little tags to go on it. You could make the odd bow, you know, you could then pop a ribbon around the box. But, you know, to receive a little gift. But I plan to potentially as gifts, and when I get round to doing some events, actually have sort of half a dozen cards in a box. You know, sort of, I don't know, a sympathy, a man card, a few, 2 or 3 birthday cards, and which then sort of quite a nice selection. I've sort of done that for my sort of friends' birthdays already. Sometimes it's because, if I'm honest, I've actually forgotten that, oh no, it's their birthday tomorrow. And then I thought, oh, homemade cards, quite lovely. And always handy, you know, it's always nice. And do you know what? Just to be able to send a card sometimes to someone, just because you can, is quite lovely, isn't it? So, right, so again, just pop these there. But so you need to make sure you have enough glue on. Okay, but where this obviously hasn't been dried properly, but can you sort of see, because that box allowed it to cut it out just marginally bigger, that will make that fit. Anyway, over to some I did earlier. Isn't that gorgeous paper? Sometimes, you know, we have that sort of stack of paper. Yeah, so and then I did, hang on, another one. So, you know, once they're properly dry, yeah, so are ideal. But what I'm then going to show you, so have a go. But this was a lid I did, which was to allow, so if you can imagine if the base was to fit properly, this is what I want to sort of say. With this, when you've got the envelope in there, it, you know, the nip and a squeeze it will, and that was 8 1/4. But, you know, obviously you're going to be putting envelopes in there. So I still think the 8 1/2, the original square size, is the better size, because this is the sort of card size that I do quite lots. Okay. So, but remember, when you then cut them out, you have all these bits and pieces left over. Yeah. So, which brings me over to, like I say, in there, for example, this one I just took out, it then would have held 6 cards. So, like I say, this is the top of the box. So, obviously, when I get my other card, I'll make it an 8 1/2 to start with, and that would fit a treat. And that can be a lovely gift as far as I'm concerned. Right, now, time now. I just want to show you some of these that I've made earlier. Where did they come from? Let me just think. I don't know what I've now done. Ah, this was it. This was this, which is all little dies. It has its original, which you can just cut out. So like that, you know, here we go. Like you can literally, can't you, just put a bit of ribbon on there and pop your box. Yeah. Or, as I should be showing you, some I did earlier, just to show you the different effect, really. Okay, so there's this one, which is just the plain box. And I just want to show you how, okay, I sort of tended to think by putting the white, this is some scrappy card, that was just obviously stick on there, and quite lovely. Yeah, so again, with a little bit of ribbon there, you've got, I want to show you also, if I then, on this one, the same box design, I quite like it, but it definitely sort of matches, and it, you know, as opposed to, say, putting that one on there. Okay, so I'm just wanting to sort of give you some ideas, and there's sort of the creamy colour. There's one, look, someone special, handmade with love, which, I mean, if I'm going to be making chocolates, potentially I should be doing that. This one, if you were doing, just say the box we've now done, you could sort of get away, couldn't you, with something more pinky or one of those colours. and there's sort of someone special. This make is, oh, I can't now think, because I think I've cut it off what it is. Hang on, I'll just find you something else that's the same make. Oh, it's that X, the X cut. Okay, I've actually got a spare one of these. My plan is, when I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to send a little something if somebody wants to sort of go in for that. But think about that. So tell your friends. Anyway, right. Obviously time's gone, so this is quite a longer video. But can you sort of see? You can get a really lovely effect. And I mean, look at that bit of paper, or you know, out of pad. So look at your pad, see what you've got, and hopefully you'll, by watching what you've seen me do, it's made box making really easy. Okay, just remember your base, you can do whatever size you want. Just remember your box, even though they start off the same size, you know, if you're using your scorer, you'll just be doing it so that's it's very slightly less, if that makes sense, so it'll fit. Anyway, all the very best, thank you, and see you soon. Cheers. Oh, just before I go, I did also cut out a load of flowers. Oops, there's a heart snuck in there, which again was from that paper. So, you know, if you didn't want to put a tag on, you can build it up with a few flowers or something. You know, look, I mean, if you sort of, this is that same paper from the sort of scrappy bits. You know, you could build up a couple of flowers on there, bit of ribbon maybe, you know, play. Oh, just before I go, I have got a Rainy Day Crafting Facebook page, which you just need to sort of, to be able to join, you just sort of send a message via it, if that makes sense. But I want it to be that people, if you have a go at making your boxes or whatever I've sort of shown you how to make, give it a go. And because I'd love to see your designs that you're making yourself. A lady's already put something on there because it's very sort of recent starting that up. And it's quite nice how she sort of amalgamated a couple of my videos to make something. So it's good. So it's all about sharing, and very much on there about being kind to each other. Okay, I haven't put the rules on there yet, but I will very soon. So till the next time, thank you very much. See you soon.